The four urbane adventurers who dared to brave the unknown. Deliverance, a film that seared itself into our consciousness with its unfiltered ferocity. But what of the fate of those men? The metropolitan explorers who confronted the extreme challenge of survival. Let us traverse back through time, only to swiftly leap forward again to the here and now. Brace yourself for an unsettling revelation. Jon Voight as Ed Gentry, brought to life with haunting subtlety by Jon Voight, is a crucial figure in Deliverance. Initially depicted as a mild-mannered and somewhat nervous member of the group, Ed undergoes a significant transformation during their harrowing adventure. His character's journey is marked by a deep descent into psychological distress. The traumatic events he encounters shatter his sense of security and innocence. Voight's memorable performance, including the infamous dueling banjos scene, has cemented Ed's place in cinematic history. Voight began his off-Broadway career in a revue titled Oh, Oysters, which ran in early 1961. He made his Broadway debut in the fall of 1961 as Rolfe in The Sound of Music. Between 1963 and 1968, he appeared in several episodes of Gunsmoke, as well as guest roles on Naked City and The Defenders in 1963, and 12 O'Clock High in 1966, and Cimarron Strip in 1968. His first appearance in television films came with 1991's Chernobyl, The Final Warning, followed by The Last of His Tribe in 1992. He also appeared in The Rainbow Warrior in 1992 for ABC, which recounts the story of the Greenpeace ship sunk by French operatives in Auckland Harbor. Throughout the rest of the decade, Voight alternated between feature films and TV movies, including a leading role in the 1993 miniseries Return to Lonesome Dove, a continuation of Larry McMurtry's Western saga Lonesome Dove. In 2022, Voight took part in the documentary Desperate Souls, Dark City and the Legend of Midnight Cowboy, alongside Bob Balaban, Brian De Palma, and Brenda Vaccaro. The film premiered at the 79th Venice International Film Festival and was later shortlisted for the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature at the 96th Academy Awards. Voight was also cast in the science fiction epic Megalopolis, directed by Francis Ford Coppola in 2022. Voight married actress Laurie Peters in 1962, whom he met during the original Broadway production of The Sound of Music. They divorced in 1967. He then married actress Marceline Bertrand in 1971. They separated in 1976, filed for divorce in 1978, and finalized it in 1980. Their children, James Haven, born 1973, and Angelina Jolie, born 1975, both became prominent figures in the film industry as actors and producers. Through Jolie, Voight has 6 grandchildren. In the 4.5 decades plus since his divorce from wife number 2, Voight has steered clear of matrimony. Romantic entanglements with the likes of Linda Morand, Stacey Pickren, Rebecca De Mornay, Eileen Davidson, Barbara Streisand, Nastasia Kinski, and Diana Ross have come and gone, but Voight remains a bachelor at heart. Bert Reynolds as Lewis. Lewis Medlock, portrayed by Bert Reynolds in the film Deliverance, is a pivotal character. An experienced outdoorsman and the instigator of the canoeing trip, Lewis is defined by his confidence, physical prowess, and bravado. However, his self-assured facade is tested by the harsh wilderness and encounters with locals. As the narrative progresses, Lewis's character unfolds to reveal layers of strength and vulnerability. Interestingly, during Bert Reynolds' time at PBJC in the early days of 1956, he was a student of Watson B. Duncan III in an English class. Duncan encouraged Reynolds to audition for his production, Outward Bound, and this led to Bert winning the Florida State Drama Award in 1956. Reflecting on this, Reynolds later remarked, "I read 2 words, and they gave me a lead." In his autobiography, he acknowledged Duncan as his mentor and the individual who had the greatest influence on his life. Winning the Florida State Drama Award came with a scholarship to the Hyde Park Playhouse, a summer stock theater in Hyde Park, New York. For Reynolds, this presented a welcome alternative to the more physically taxing summer jobs he had undertaken previously, although at this point he had not yet considered acting as a viable career path. It was during his time at the Playhouse that he crossed paths with Joanne Woodward, who provided invaluable assistance in finding him an agent. Between 1976 and 1980, with an on-and-off extension until 1982, Reynolds was romantically involved with American actress Sally Field, and the pair shared the screen in 4 films. In 2016, he even referred to Field as the love of his life. From 1988 to 1994, he was married to another American actress, Lonnie Anderson. They adopted a son named Quentin. However, their marriage ended when Reynolds fell in love with a cocktail waitress, Pam Seals, which led to a series of lawsuits that were ultimately settled out of court. On September 6, 2018, Bert Reynolds passed away from a heart attack at the Jupiter Medical Center in Jupiter, Florida, aged 82. A private memorial service was held by his ex-wife, Lonnie Anderson, and their son, Quentin, on September 20th at a funeral home in North Palm Beach, Florida. Notable attendees included Sally Field, FSU coach Bobby Bowden, friend Lee Corso, and quarterback Doug Flutie. Bert Reynolds' body was cremated, his ashes given to his niece, Nancy Lee Brown Hess, and he was laid to rest at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery on February 11, 2021. Ronnie Cox as Drew. In the film Deliverance, Ronnie Cox portrays Drew Ballinger, a pragmatic and level-headed individual who serves as the voice of reason within his group. Amidst the escalating tensions of their journey, Drew maintains a calm and orderly presence, relying on his practicality to navigate the treacherous situation with logic and composure. However, as the trip unfolds and the group encounters traumatic events, Drew's character arc reveals a deeper complexity and resilience. Ronnie Cox, the talented actor who brought Drew Ballinger to life, was born on July 23, 1938, in the idyllic mountain town of Cloudcroft, New Mexico. He was the third of 5 children born to Lunette and Bob P. Cox, a carpenter with a dairy profession. Cox spent his formative years in Portales, a charming New Mexican town. Fate brought Cox and his future wife, Mary, together when they were just 11 and 14 years old. Their young love blossomed into a relationship when Mary turned 15 and Cox was 18. Cox's acting career boasts notable roles in television and film. He starred in the heartwarming series Apple's Way, created by Earl Hamner of the Waltons fame, during the 1974 to 1975 season. He also graced the screen as Mr. Webb in a television adaptation of Our Town, adding another layer to his versatile repertoire. In 1977, he showcased his talent in the episode Devil Pack from the suspenseful series Quinn Martin's Tales of the Unexpected. Demonstrating his versatility, Cox revisited the theme of being lost in a small group of men a dozen years after Deliverance, this time in the Nevada desert, in the film Courage, where they faced a similar predicament of being hunted by relentless locals. Ronnie Cox's impressive body of work extends beyond his role in Deliverance. He portrayed Walter Kenny, a serial killer known as the Tooth Fairy, in Season 6, Episode 3 of Dexter. His guest appearance in the series Diagnosis Murder in Episode 9 of Season 3, titled The Pressure to Murder, showcased his ability to take on diverse roles. More recently, in 2018, Cox played the role of Gideon Claiborne on Season 6 of the popular series Nashville. Demonstrating his enduring appeal, Cox reprised his role as Admiral Edward Jellicoe in Star Trek, Prodigy in 2022, appearing in multiple episodes. Despite his success in the world of acting, Cox has prioritized music as the central passion in his life. He dedicates himself fully to his art, turning down approximately 90% of acting offers to focus on his musical endeavors. Each year, he performs in over 100 shows at various festivals and theaters, accompanied by his talented band. In addition, Cox leads an annual musical tour to Ireland, sharing his love of music with audiences across the globe. Cox's musical prowess has not gone unnoticed. On November 2nd, 2019, he was inducted into the New Mexico Music Hall of Fame, solidifying his place in the state's rich musical heritage. This honor was further emphasized when Cox won the New Mexico Music Awards Norman Petty Producers Award, with Tom, Panda, Ryan receiving recognition for his exceptional recording of Ronnie Cox's Live at the Kitchen Sink. The album also garnered the 2021 Best Folk Music Award for the song Poor Tallies, a heartfelt tribute to his hometown. The magic of Live at the Kitchen Sink was captured at the Kitchen Sink recording studio in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Ned Batty as Bobby. Robert Tripp, portrayed by Ned Batty, is frequently regarded as the comedic backbone of the film Deliverance. Within the narrative, his character is initially presented as carefree and buoyant, a stark contrast to the other members of the group. Yet, as the story progresses and the group faces mounting challenges, Robert's vulnerability and apprehension become increasingly evident. Robert's character evolution is significant. He transforms from a light-hearted companion to an individual grappling with the aftermath of profound trauma. His presence in the film effectively heightens the tension while also providing moments of unexpected levity amidst the dire circumstances. Ned Batty, born on the 6th of July, 1937 in Louisville, Kentucky, to Margaret and Charles William Batty, grew up alongside his older sister Mary. His journey into the performing arts began in 1947 when he lent his vocal talents to gospel and barbershop quartets in St. Matthews, Kentucky, within the confines of his local church. Following his graduation from Eastern High School, Batty's musical prowess was recognized, and he received a scholarship to join the a cappella choir at Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky. Batty's character faces a harrowing ordeal in Deliverance when he is forced to disrobe at gunpoint by a pair of mountain men who subject him to humiliation and sexual assault. This scene, even today, remains a pivotal moment in cinematic history for its raw impact. Batty himself acknowledged the reluctance among the film crew to film the scene, yet he also emphasized its undeniable importance to the narrative. Deliverance ranked as the 5th highest-grossing film of its release year, and its theme song, Dueling Banjos, soared to the top of the music charts. The year 1972 witnessed Batty's collaboration with Paul Newman in the Western film The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. Nearly 4 decades later, in 2011, he lent his voice to the animated film Rango, portraying the character of Tortoise John, and made brief appearances in the films Funny Guy and Rampart, the latter of which starred Woody Harrelson and was set in 1999 Los Angeles. Batty's final foray into television came in 2013 with a role in the sitcom Go On, starring Matthew Perry. It is worth noting that Ned Batty was not related to his contemporary Warren Beatty, despite their shared last name and birth year. Ned often jested that Warren was his illegitimate uncle. Batty's legacy was celebrated at a 40th anniversary screening of Deliverance at Warner Brothers in 2012, where he was joined by Bert Reynolds, Ronnie Cox, and John Voit. He actively supported Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign in 1988. Ned Batty passed away peacefully at his Los Angeles residence on June 13, 2021, at the age of 83, just shy of his 84th birthday. Bill McKinnon as Mountain Man. In the film Deliverance, the Mountain Man, played by Bill McKinnon, is a chilling and enigmatic presence. His character embodies the untamed and savage essence of the wild, exposing the darkness that lurks within. The stark contrast between his primal nature and the civilized world of the protagonists is striking. The mountain man's demeanor and actions instill a deep sense of disquiet, signaling a threat to the character's sense of security and normalcy. His role in the film is pivotal, building a sense of foreboding that culminates in one of cinema's most memorable and disturbing scenes. William Dennison McKinney, born on September 12, 1931 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, had a nomadic childhood, moving residences 12 times. During the Korean War, he served his country bravely, spending 2 years on a minesweeper in Korean waters. After his military service, he found himself in Port Hueneme, Ventura County, California, where he pursued his passion for acting at the renowned Pasadena Playhouse. He later honed his craft at the Lee Strasberg Actors Studio, making his film debut in the exploitation picture She Freak in 1967. McKinney's talent extended beyond the screen. He was also a teacher at Cave Spring Middle School for a decade. His television debut came in 1968 with a guest appearance on The Monkees, and he gained recognition for his role as Lobo in Alias Smith and Jones. California became his home after his discharge in 1954. He enrolled in acting school at the prestigious Pasadena Playhouse in 1957, studying alongside the likes of Dustin Hoffman and Mako Iwamatsu. To support himself financially, McKinney worked as an arborist, tending to and removing trees. He continued this work until the mid-1970s, when his acting career took off with roles in prominent films. In the late 1990s, McKinney added another talent to his repertoire: singing. He released an album titled Love Songs from Antry, a collection of standards and country and western songs, aptly named after the mispronunciation of the ill-fated town in Deliverance. One of his songs was even featured in the film Undertow, directed by David Gordon Green. McKinney's voice talent was showcased as Jonah Hex in The Batman, the animated series episode Showdown. He made a cameo appearance in 2001 Maniacs, 2005, and starred in the Robin Hood-inspired horror film Sherwood Horror, 2010. Sadly, on December 1, 2011, McKinney passed away at his home in San Fernando, California at the age of 80 after a battle with esophageal cancer. Charlie Borman as Ed's boy. Charlie Borman, the actor who portrayed Ed's boy in the film, was born in Wimbledon, London, but spent his formative years in County Wicklow, Ireland. He is the talented offspring of German costume designer Crystal Cruz and the renowned film director Sir John Borman. Interestingly, Lee Marvin, a close friend of Sir John Borman, was also Charlie's godfather. Borman began his foray into the world of cinema at a young age, appearing in his father's films, including playing young Mordred in Excalibur, alongside his older sister, Katrina Borman, who portrayed Igraine, Mordred's grandmother. The year 1985 marked a notable milestone in Borman's career, as he landed a leading role in The Emerald Forest. He then took on a non-speaking role in Hope and Glory in 1987, portraying a young German Luftwaffe pilot shot down over wartime London. Katrina also graced the screen in other films, such as Serpent's Kiss, 1997, and The Bunker, 2001. In 2007, Borman took to the stage in Newcastle upon Tyne, captivating audiences at the Tyne Theatre. The successful Evening with Style show subsequently toured the UK and Ireland in 2010. During this period, Borman bravely revealed his battle with testicular cancer, which was caught early on, leading to the removal of one testicle. Since then, he has actively supported Movember. Venturing to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, in 2009, Borman spent time with troops at the key camps of Kandahar and Bastion during the Christmas season. He presented Gold Duke of Edinburgh's awards at St. James's Palace in February 2014 and November 2016, standing in for the Duke of Edinburgh. In 2011, Borman showcased his adventurous spirit in the primetime series Charlie Borman's Extreme Frontiers on Channel 5. This series was yet another successful collaboration with producer-director Russ Malkin, who often appeared on screen. Extreme Frontiers ambitiously explored the four extremities of Canada. The series was complemented by a book and DVD release. From June 9th to July 22, 2012, Borman and his dedicated team embarked on a thrilling journey through South Africa, traversing the diverse landscapes on 2 motorbikes and a 4-wheel vehicle. Borman and Malkin reunited for another adventure at the end of 2013, this time exploring the vast landscapes of the United States. They started their journey in Hawaii, made their way to Alaska, and then traversed the eastern seaboard and the southern states before heading inland to the Gulf of Mexico. From there, they ventured up to the Rockies and concluded their trip on the Pacific coast in Los Angeles. In 2019, Borman and McGregor embarked on another memorable journey, this time from Ushuaia in Argentina to Los Angeles in the United States, riding electric Harley-Davidson live-wire motorbikes. Demonstrating his enduring passion for motorcycles, Borman began presenting Motorbike TV in 2022, a captivating motorcycle magazine entertainment show for Motorsport TV. Herbert Cowboy, Coward, as Toothless Man. The Toothless Man, portrayed by Herbert Coward, is a chilling character in the film Deliverance. This character, a local inhabitant, embodies the unsettling and menacing atmosphere of the backcountry with his ominous presence. The menacing demeanor and striking appearance of the Toothless Man contribute significantly to the film's pervasive sense of dread. Along with the Mountain Man, he represents the dark underbelly of the rural community, accentuating the isolation and peril faced by the city dwellers. Herbert Coward, the man behind the Toothless Man, led a life that intersected with both hardship and Hollywood. Born in 1938 in Haywood County, North Carolina, he was the 9th child of Fred and Moody Parker Coward. Tragedy struck when his mother passed away at a young age, prompting Coward to leave school and shoulder the responsibility of helping to support his family. He took on various itinerant labor jobs, working in orchards and operating heavy machinery. In the early 1960s, he married and briefly lived in Raleigh before relocating back to the mountains with his wife, who longed for her hometown. Life took an unexpected turn when Coward took on a job as an outlaw gunfighter at the Old West amusement park, Ghost Town, in Maggie Valley. It was during his performances at the park, alongside acting school students, locals, and professional actors, that an accident with a prop pistol resulted in the loss of 2 of his front teeth. The amusement park also attracted known actors, such as Dan Blocker of Bonanza fame, and even Bert Reynolds, who made an appearance one summer fresh off his roles on Gunsmoke. It was during this time that Coward and Reynolds forged a friendship. Coward's involvement in Deliverance was not his only cinematic appearance. He also worked in the BASF factory in Asheville, North Carolina for 27 years and appeared in another film, Ghost Town the Movie, 2007, as well as the television show Hillbilly Blood in 2013. Additionally, he had a feature in an episode of the Discovery Channel show Moonshiners, playing the caretaker of a deserted amusement park, ironically also named Ghost Town. In the show, 2 moonshiners approach him to request hiding their bootleg whiskey in the abandoned town to age. Tragically, on January 24, 2024, Coward, his girlfriend, Bertha Brooks, and their beloved pet Chihuahua and pet squirrel met with a fatal accident on Highway 19 between Clyde and Canton, North Carolina. Neither Coward nor Brooks were wearing seatbelts, and they both succumbed to their injuries. Coward was 85, while Brooks was 78. The lives they led and the impact they had on others, including the inspiration Coward provided for other media, such as the Primus video My Name is Mud, which drew inspiration from his performance and appearance in Deliverance, will forever be remembered. Macon McCallman as Deputy Queen. He is a regional peacekeeper, drawn into the wake of the quartet's harrowing experience, his presence signifies the engagement of local law enforcement in unraveling the mysteries of their journey. Affectionately known as Sonny, this man of many talents contributed to the founding of the Front Street Theater in his native Memphis, Tennessee. During the Korean conflict, he bravely served with the U.S. Army. Over his acting career, he graced both the big and small screens with appearances spanning diverse genres, often portraying formidable or authoritative characters. His journey into the limelight began on Broadway, where he performed in esteemed productions such as The Last of Mrs. Lincoln, 1971, An Enemy for the People, 1971, and the comedic The Playboy of the Western World. Hollywood soon came calling, and he landed his first film role in Deliverance, 1972. He continued to shine in supporting roles, including appearances in The Concorde, Airport 79, 1979, The Falcon and the Snowman, 1985, Fried Green Tomatoes, 1991, and Falling Down, 1993. He also lent his talent to the Roger Donaldson-directed film Marie, 1985. His versatility shone through in guest roles on television series like Cheers, Starsky and Hutch, Kojak, Lou Grant, and Three's Company, as well as in miniseries and television movies such as Roots, 1977, and Captains and the Kings, 1976. In 1997, following a heart attack, he bid farewell to the acting world and returned to his beloved Memphis. Sadly, in 2005, just a month before his 73rd birthday, he passed away in a Memphis hospital due to complications from multiple strokes. Seaman Glass as First Griner. Seaman Glass, the man who portrayed First Griner on screen, was born in the bustling borough of Brooklyn, New York, on September 26, 1925. His life sadly came to an end in Los Angeles on July 12, 2016. It is worth noting that his family name underwent a transformation from Alt Glass to the more succinct Glass. Fate dealt young Glass an early blow when his father passed away while he was merely 13, prompting a cross-country move to the Golden State. After serving his country during the war, Glass pursued his education at Santa Monica Junior College, utilizing the GI Bill as a springboard. This period marked the inception of his foray into the realms of both amateur and professional boxing. Glass led a multifaceted life, embracing a myriad of occupations. He ventured onto the seas as a member of the U.S. Merchant Marine, navigated the corridors of Fairfax High School in Los Angeles as an English and social studies teacher, and offered guidance as a counselor. He poured drinks as a bartender, crafted words as a newspaper columnist for the Santa Monica Independence, and even served as a bodyguard for Darryl F. Zanuck's daughter, Darylyn. In 1960, sponsored by actress Anna Maria Alberghetti, Glass stepped into the boxing ring professionally, amassing a record of 1-2 in Los Angeles. It was through his work as a boxing instructor and sparring partner that Glass serendipitously crossed paths with actors and Hollywood insiders eager to experience the sport without risking their physical appearance. Among them was producer and director Fred Gadet, who opened doors to acting roles and stunt work for Glass. However, Glass chose to decline extra work in films such as Kid Galahad, 1962, and Captain Newman, M.D., which resulted in a reduction of his appearances on the silver screen. He favored the stability and financial security offered by his teaching and seafaring professions over the unpredictable nature of an acting career. This preference led to his agent, former actor Hugh French, parting ways with Glass after he forfeited a role intended for him by John Wayne, potentially in Sons of Katie Elder, due to his merchant voyage commitments. Glass took center stage as the lead actor in This Is Not a Test, 1962, portraying a lawman who encounters an unexpected nuclear attack announcement while setting up a roadblock to apprehend a criminal. He also graced the decks of the Starship Enterprise in the Star Trek episode Mudd's Women, 1966, portraying the character Benton. In the 1978 film The Other Side of Hell, Glass embodied the role of staff member Tim Donahue, alongside Alan Arkin, who portrayed a mental inmate regaining sanity and yearning to depart from the confines of the hospital. Concluding his acting journey, Glass bid farewell to America and embarked on a teaching vocation in China, marking a new chapter in his life. Billy Redden as Lonnie. Lonnie, brought to life by Billy Redden in Deliverance, is an unforgettable character. The young local, with his banjo in hand, participates in the iconic dueling banjos scene alongside Drew Ballinger. Lonnie embodies a stark contrast to the urban refinement of the lead characters, showcasing a unique way of life. Despite his limited screen time, Lonnie's encounter with the city folks is a pivotal moment in the film, foreshadowing the escalating tension and the darker twists to come. Born on October 13, 1956, in Rabun County, Georgia, Redden left an indelible mark with his portrayal of Lonnie. Following Deliverance, he secured a role in Lamberto Bava's 1984 film Blast Fighter, which was filmed in and around Clayton, Georgia. Many likened the film to a blend of Deliverance and First Blood. Redden's subsequent appearance was in Tim Burton's Big Fish in 2003. Burton specifically sought out Redden for the role of a banjo-playing greeter in the idyllic town of Spectre. He tracked Redden down in Clayton, where he was co-owner of the Cookie Jar Cafe and worked as a cook and dishwasher. The year 2004 saw Redden in a guest role on Blue Collar TV, portraying a car repairman named Ray in a Redneck Dictionary sketch. His character, Ray, represented the word raisin bread, a play on the phrase raise inbred. Of course, he brought his banjo along for the skit. Redden continued to showcase his banjo skills in subsequent roles, appearing as a banjo player in Ace Cruz's Outrage, Born in Terror in 2009. In 2012, marking the 40th anniversary of Deliverance, Redden was interviewed for the documentary The Deliverance of Rabun County, which delved into the local community's reflections on the 1972 film 4 decades later. A stark reminder that even the strongest of men can't escape the passage of time. From the youthful vigor of the city boys to the weathered faces they wear today, it's a sobering reality check. So, what did you think? Was it shocking? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, sometimes it's the darkest corners of the human experience that make for the most unforgettable stories.